Hello everyone, it's Joe here and welcome to episode number 7 of the Snake Draft FPL League podcast. In this show, we'll be going through all the key issues in Draft Fantasy Premier League. There'll be a bit about our league, which is hosted by the website Draft Fantasy Football. We use official FPL scoring with the addition of Kante points, which are 1 extra point for every 2 tackles or interceptions. So while we're focused on DFF, what we chat about will also definitely apply to official FPL and Togger style Draft Fantasy as well. We'll also chat through a couple of general football and fantasy topics and have a bit of a laugh while we do it. We're starting to ramp up the content to help you win your draft league, so I'd definitely advise subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you get our tips before anyone else in your league does. Snake Draft FPL is a 12-man league, and I'm joined today by 2 of them. Should have been 3, but John, we think, is stuck in a traffic jam or somewhere, so he may or may not join halfway through. But we have Mr. Top of the Table, Mr. Portsmouth, Nathan Dewey. How are you?
Yeah, all good. Not too bad.
Just, good. Back in Turkey.
Back in Turkey. Sitting pretty at the top of the table. So perfect.
Nice. And we've also got Nicky Noodle. How are you, Nick? Not the best month for you, but we'll come on to that.
Well, I don't think I could possibly have gone any worse, could it?
No. I'm pretty sure last time we had you on, you would bang on 4 wins or 3 wins on the spin, and you're raring to go. But
I was
a bit of a change in fortunes since then.
Yeah, we'll get on to that.
Yeah, we will. I'm feeling a bit worse for wear because I've been away for the last 2 days, and I got back literally an hour ago. So we'll see. I might have to take a back seat for some of this chat when my throat starts going in about half an hour's time. But we'll see how it goes. So first up with the lowest points would have been John, even though he won in classic John fashion, winning on 40 to Boar. Wow. We'll skate straight over that. I also got 40, actually. Lost to Mac. People are calling for me to apologise because I've been slating Mac's team and Mac's general fantasy ability every week on the podcast. I won't apologise. His team is crap. He just had a good week. I will not
had a good week.
He had a very good week. Max scored 68 this week. Firmino hat-trick. He had Cody's first ever Premier League goal. Just total nonsense all round.
It is nonsense. You know it's nonsense when you got McGinn on 15 points or Bonner on 15 points on your bench.
Yeah. He could have got 80. He could have got mid-80s this week if he picked the right team. Well, Mac, to get the points, you have to play them.
Yep.
So a shit week for me. I mean, I didn't deserve to win. I only got 40. I didn't really have a good week at all. Manning and KDB were my only real point scorers this week. Not great. But we roll on.
On Saturday, you were hyping up your team, saying that
I had great fixtures. It looked good. I thought I was going to have a really good week, but sometimes that's how it goes, isn't it? Yeah, it was the Jimenez not starting really kind of screwed me over. I didn't see that coming either. I think it was like travel related, wasn't it? He got back late from internationals, so that shouldn't be a long-term problem. But yeah, not the week I was hoping for, really. But there you go. Next up, Nick, 49 points, lost by a point to someone else on the call. It's not a good week to have you on, is it? I didn't even. Well, I did know that. I did know, but yeah. How is it? How is it from your perspective?
I'll go first, right? I'm still fuming at Wan-Bissaka. I drafted him, thought, he's going to be a good draft. You know, you're going to have a like Maguire, Varane at the back. Shaw's was on form from the Euros. I thought, right, I'm going to draft Wan-Bissaka. Clean sheets all over the place. No, awful. And I lost this week because he got -1 because United are just Ollie out. Yeah, just to say that. To be honest, I had a good week all round. But it's just one of those ones when, I mean, sometimes you come up against someone and you lose by a couple of points, and they've just had a better week.
Yeah, that Wan-Bissaka -1 actually is brutal. What's funny about that? Actually, so I had Lindelof in that game, and he got an assist for the Rashford goal. And when I loaded it up, he was on 2 points, and I was like, why have they not given him the assist? And then I realised that he got booked, conceded 4 goals. So even with an assist, he only got 2 points. I thought, this is ridiculous. -1. That's grim. That's grim. Okay, and moving on to you, Mr. Dewey. 50 points. Beat Nick by a point. Did you know? Were you in the lead all week, or was it back and forth?
No, I was in the league all week, wasn't I?
Yeah, I was like, you started off, didn't you? Because you got Salah.
I had Salah.
And I chased you down and got a couple of points ahead of you, and then Wilson went on and scored, and then I was just game over from there. But
how the fuck Mendy got 9 points, all them saves, like he had an absolute blind.
Unbelievable.
Literally, Mendy kept you in this fixture. 100%.
I kind of skated over that because I knew I was pretty lucky with that. I was complaining about Wan-Bissaka, but Mendy got 9 points. I was pretty lucky. Yeah.
I think Mendy looks like the keeper to have. I don't think there's a keeper I'd rather have than Mendy. Clean sheets. He's getting. No, I'd rather have Mendy. Edison doesn't get saved. I don't know. Edison never gets bonus.
Edison's going to come up with a assist sometime.
Maybe. The thing, Edison's great because he's going to play for City, which is rare. But he never gets save points and he never gets bonus. So it's kind of whereas Mendy, he's getting the clean sheets, but he's also, he's actually. It's like De Gea a few years ago when he was doing really well for United. Like when you get a keeper that gets that mix of clean sheets and like 2-3 extra points a week, it really does add up, I think.
Yeah.
Good pick that, I think. That's so. Oh, I love winning by 1 point. I've done it earlier to Connor this season. It's like the best feeling ever. So enjoy it.
Losing.
Yeah, it's awful.
I thought I was going to draw 50-50 again. Because I drew 50-50 with
of course you did, John.
Previously, yeah. And but I'm happy this year. My team is constantly above 45 points.
Yeah, that's what you want. Consistent, upper 40s plus is how you do well. Yeah, that you want if you can be one of those teams where every time you play against someone you're like, fuck, so I know I've got to have a good week. And then you still get beat. You still lose games just because people do have really good weeks, but you're always going to be in the mix. That's good. And Nick, I've just realised if you played Will Keane instead of Wan-Bissaka, you would have won.
No, Drew.
Yeah.
You would have won.
I would have won.
No,
Will Keane got Keane got 2.
It was Wan-Bissaka. Sorry.
So,
I thought it was about.
Or Lamptey.
Yeah,
if you played instead of Lamptey.
Yeah, I know. But it's all if buts and it's
ifs, buts, and maybes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so that's the end of game week 8, which means it's the second manager of the month cycle. So instead of doing it by calendar month, we do it every 4 weeks. We have a manager of the month, whoever's got the most points in those 4 weeks, and a forfeit for whoever's bottom. I got the forfeit the first time round, but in the second set, Nath, you won the manager of the month. Congratulations. You picked me to it because I was pretty confident I was going to get it because I had the highest score and I was playing Mac. But that draw you got with John just kind of shafted me, didn't it? Because it meant that even though
it was me,
you always, So because I lost to Mac this week, it went to you. So well done.
Yeah.
And Nick, forfeit. Happens to the best.
Manager of the month curse.
Yeah, from manager of the month to forfeit. And you'd think that's a rare thing to happen, but it isn't. It happens all the time. So, Oh well, the curse is over now.
Sweet. Yeah, I think it's a bit of sweet justice. Nick beat me to the manager of the month last.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah,
with an absolutely he had got 98 points and then beat me 1 point, didn't he?
Smashed someone.
Yeah, and then this month, the last game, I beat him by 1 point and get manager of the month.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking about if if you'd won, Nick, I don't think you would have got the forfeit. Actually, would you? Mike would have got it. So
Nah, Mike would have got it. But I mean,
that's a shame.
the draft is no fun unless you're doing a forfeit.
That's
what-
true.
I mean,
It's all
wouldn't
part of
mind.
it.
I don't mind getting it. It's all part of the fun. You see, I mean, I
Yeah,
would like to get
exactly.
like 5 or 6, but yeah.
No, like Brad.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's all part of the fun, isn't it? Yeah. I just got to take it on the chin at you.
Have you had
Okay.
one yet, Joe? Sorry.
Have I had whatever?
A forfeit? Yeah.
Yeah,
Last
I've had it. Yeah,
last month.
a couple. Yeah, but like
okay.
in previous
I don't-
seasons, I have. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
not loads, but a few.
No.
So go and look at the league table. Then let's have a look at this. I never look at it after I lose because I just
No,
think I don't want to.
Neither do I.
So Nath 19, going good. George right behind you on 18. His team's quite good, isn't it? We should probably say that. That's all I'm going to say. He keeps saying, "Why are you praising me? I'm 1 point behind him. No one's turned about how good my team is." Well, there you go. Well done, George. Okay.
Yeah.
John and Mac rounding off the playoff places. John's doing well, I think. John's.
John always does well.
He's ticking along, isn't he? He's one of the. You just think
Yeah.
he's going to pick up enough wins to be in the mix. Mac,
Always wins on 28 or 30.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mac is a disgrace.
Look at that. 311
Even
overall points.
with the highest, he got the highest points this week in beating me, and he still has the lowest points overall out of everyone in the league.
Yeah. But
Lowest,
if you look,
bottom.
people aren't even scoring against him. He's only
No.
had 286 against him.
Mm.
How many have I had?
So
Have you got it
he's
up?
been very, very lucky. Yeah. So you've had 411. But Bradley's had the most against him, which is 425.
Yeah.
Damn. Poor old Brad. I had a big week against Brad. Everyone does.
And
Yeah. The bunch on 9 points is split up a bit now in the league, in the table as well. So it's not quite as tight. With some people winning, some people losing, but it's still very close. And then Mike down there in the bottom on 7. Do either of you think Mike will not finish bottom? I phrased that really badly. Do you think Mike will finish bottom?
It's a long way to go, and Mike has a way of making some good. Yeah, his team's not good. I mean, he has some decent players, but they don't play very regularly. But he's done the Great Escape before, so I wouldn't put it past him.
He got to the playoffs with literally the worst team I've ever seen one year.
Yeah, and you've always got Ben and Bannister down there who are regulars at the bottom of the league.
I think it's going to be an Antrobus Sacco Bowl.
I'd love that. I think that would be so good. Ben and Mike in the Sacco Bowl together would be my dream. Because neither of them have had it, and they both seem to think they're immune. So I think I just think it'd be glorious to have Ben and Mike in the Sacco Bowl. Great content as well. Okay, then. Well, let's move on to some players and have a bit of a dig about what we think. We will start off with the man that broke me this week, which is Bobby Firmino. So he was out injured, just come back, gets in the team, bit of a jammy hat trick. I'll start with you, Nath. Do you think Firmino is a top? Obviously, he's not in the same realms as like Lukaku, Ronaldo, Kane. But do you think he's just below them, or do you think he's further down? Like, would you put him in with the Bamford mix, or above or below that sort of striker?
I think around that striker. I think slightly below. He seems to perform well against like the shit teams, Watford, Norwich, Burnley, them sort of teams. But I don't know. I don't think he's going to get too many minutes. Like him and Jota are going to be fighting for that front spot. So I really don't like having a player, especially a striker, which isn't like first
Yeah,
gonna be
you want
on
to have
the
the
team sheet.
you want to have the main man in your forward line, don't you?
Yeah.
And he's not that. Like he's not the main man. So
No.
would you, if you had Firmino and someone offered you someone like Bamford or Jimenez, would you take it in a heartbeat?
Not right now. He might go into a bit of a purple spell.
Yeah.
So a purple patch, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe just after the purple patch, you could probably trade him with someone. But yeah, 3 goals, 1 assist. But I would never play him when he's playing at Anfield. He never scores, does he? When he's playing at Anfield.
Yeah.
So like, he's always going to be one of them players which you're going to rotate around.
I think he would be annoying to have. I mean, I had him years ago, but that was sort of before the Joe thing. So, Nick, what do you think about Firmino? How would you like rank him in like the striker sort of tiers?
Well, does he even class as a striker? Like, is he?
Well,
he's not an out-and-out striker, is he?
In terms of,
I'd rather have like him as Bamford, Wilson than Firmino, Ings. Yeah, I'd rather have anybody. I wouldn't pick him up even if he was on the waiver wire. I think.
Really?
I just don't like him. I actually was looking up about him earlier before we came on. He's actually the first Brazilian to score 2 hat-tricks in the Premier League, which seems crazy. Yeah. Scored 1 against Arsenal in December in 2018 as well, which is kind of mad because I would have thought
that vividly.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go for him. I would go for like a Wilson or a Bamford over him.
Yeah, I think the
problem with him
is a problem.
Yeah. And I think the problem with him, like if you look at the scores that he's got at previous seasons, it's just getting lower and lower and lower every season. So you pick him up, okay, it's going to be a lower score than 126 for last season, 100%. So
yeah, I do think I think I would rank him probably a bit higher than you two, judging from what you're saying. But but still below the likes of Bamford and Ings and Jimenez probably as well. I'm not sure about Ings just because of and Wilson actually just because of the injury record. Firmino doesn't generally get injured that often. I mean, I know he's just come back from like a muscle strain, but generally he stays pretty fit, which is handy in draft. Like having someone that always gets injured is a fucking pain in the arse. But yeah, I don't know. I think some people really overrate Firmino and some people really underrate him. But I don't. Do you know what I mean? Like he's one of those players that some people are like, oh, he's so underrated that they overrate him. Like they go in the complete other direction. I just don't. I think for fantasy, he has these weeks every so often where he gets like 20 points, but then he will blank for like 2 months, and you're just like, why the fuck have I got this guy? So yeah, I agree. Okay, next on the list, scored a great goal at the weekend. Mason Greenwood. Start with you, Nick. So Greenwood on draft fantasy that we play is a forward, but on official FPL he's a mid, which is kind of weird. I don't really know why that is, but as a pick in fantasy, do you think he's better or worse as a pick since Ronaldo came in? Or do you think it doesn't really matter?
I guess he kind of plays out wide, doesn't he? And I don't think he would have been if Ronaldo, hypothetically, Ronaldo doesn't join, then Cavani's your main man. So it probably doesn't. Probably affects his minutes slightly, but not enough to like I think it to affect it. To affect whether you pick him or not. Personally, I think he's a bit overrated by certain people in our league.
Oh, do you? Certain Mr. Taff. Certain Connor Taff, Mr. Man United. Yeah, I know what you mean. How do you think like would you put him in the same sort of category as like the City mids? Do you think he's not in terms of talent, but in terms of like fantasy?
Oh right.
Would you think he's on par?
Well,
with,
yeah,
like,
because he's
Foden?
going to get more minutes. He's going to get more minutes because City have to rotate because they have such an all-star squad. Where United squad is they have what, Ronaldo? Yeah, I'm trying to think of a nice way to put it. Yeah, it's not very good, is it? Like compared to City or Cities or Chelsea's. So yeah, I think he's probably a better pick than like someone like Grealish.
Yeah, I think so.
Or Mahrez, just because he's going to play. I think, in fantasy football.
And he does have a knack for goals, doesn't he? That is the one thing. Like, he's a good finisher.
He's a very good finisher. Yeah, but his other games lacking. But I'd have to feel Foden over him.
I think he's too young, to be honest. Phenomenal player, but he's too young. I think he's going to start getting rotated out, and maybe they're going to use him for the cup games and stuff. You see it with young players like this; they will be rotated out for about 2 months and then come back and stuff. It's hard pressure putting this on. What is he, like 20 years old? Yeah, so,
he's too young to be the main man, isn't he? And at the moment, he kind of is. But that's not okay. Like he's too. I don't think.
Come November, he'll be rotated out for like a month. I think. Really.
Yeah, I can see it. Especially as like Rashford's coming back. Obviously, Sancho's there. They do have the capability to rotate him out if they need to. How would you compare him to like the sort of Foden, Grealish types? Who would you rather have in that like hypothetical?
I think I'd rather have Grealish, to be honest. He's going to play at least every game. I think he's at the age where he's guaranteed minutes. Where Foden and Grealish, they're just not guaranteed the minutes. They'll be rotated out just because of their age.
Greenwood and
Foden. Yeah,
but I just feel like, don't you feel like even Grealish will get the minutes, he won't score the goals because of the way he's plays out wide. Like, and Greenwood is a natural finisher. Yeah, like he'll beat the player, and then
it just depends on what Pep does. Like, think about all of the City players which come in. Normally, they have about 3 months to work in this Pep system, and Pep to get used to them and tactically put them in the game. So I think Grealish is okay, maybe not for like a month or so, but come the end of the season, he's going to be like fucking phenomenal. I pretty much think.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, like end of season. Next season, he'll be unreal.
He'll be
unreal, yeah.
If you just going back to Greenwood, Nath, if you had him now, would you be looking to trade him or keep him, or would you be thinking now's a good time to get rid of him?
No, I'll keep him. He'll be like my third striker for sure.
Fair enough. Yeah. What about you, Nick? If you had Greenwood, would you be looking to get rid and see if you could get an upgrade, or do you think the offers wouldn't be good enough for you to?
I don't really. No, I'd probably keep him, to be honest. At least for a little bit, just to see how he does.
Okay. See, that's different, because I think I would, if I had him now, I think I'd be thinking I want to get rid. I'm
not a trading man, though.
No, you're not. I am. I look at Greenwood now, and I just think United obviously don't look good at the moment, and I don't like the way I don't think the way they set up really is good for any of the attacking assets. I think it just like kind of neuters all of them. And Greenwood, obviously, he scored a fucking great goal at the weekend, and he will do that because he's just such a good finisher. But I think his returns are going to be kind of patchy, and I think someone's might give you someone good for him I don't know any other draft fantasy leagues personally, but I can guarantee you there's an annoying United fan in all of them. So see who he's got, and make him an offer. That would be my advice, because I reckon you could get someone half decent for him. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced the returns are gonna keep up with like the other decent forwards. And I reckon you could get like an Ings or someone for him.
Yeah. I think it just depends if you've already got like 2 starting strikers and stuff like that. He's a great third option.
Yeah, then you can afford to just leave him, kind of. Yeah, that's true. Okay, next up, let's talk about Trent. So obviously he was out injured and he's now back. Nate, I'll start with you. Do you think Trent is the most... do you think he'll be the highest scoring defender this year?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think he's got potential to be, with Salah currently in the form that he's in. Yeah, I don't know.
Because he's normally top or basically top.
Yeah.
Like he's either top. He's always top. He's been top 3 for like 4 years in a row now. But do you think, like, who do you think could beat him? The only man I think really that could be up there with him is Cancelo. I think.
Yeah,
could have a big year. Maybe one of the Chelsea boys that, you know, Chilwell, Alonso, Rhys James. Those. Like, what do you think? Yeah. Do you think Trent will be top?
Well, I hope so, because he was like my second pick. I mean, like you say, he's always thereabouts, especially if Liverpool do well. He's going to get a decent amount of points. Whether they be top or not, I don't think it really makes a difference, as long as he's top 3, which he should be.
Is there? Really. So you own Trent. Is there anyone you would accept in a 1-to-1 trade? Any other defender?
Digne.
If I
can offer you a Rudiger.
I mean, if someone offered me Cancelo, like with my City hat on, I'd be like, I would have to, but I don't know. No, I don't think so. Cancelo would be the only one I'd seriously consider.
Yeah, I think that's I would seriously consider Cancelo. The problem with Cancelo though is sometimes he just doesn't play, and that doesn't really happen.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like you see this plum fixture, like, you know, with Burnley at home last week, or you see Watford at home on the ticker, and you think, sweet, this is going to be a big one, and then he just doesn't play. Yeah. But when it's Trent and you see that fixture, you know, unless there's like a surprise injury or something, you can get excited about it because you know he's going to start, which does make a difference, I think, doesn't it? I don't think there's anyone I'd take for Trent.
Yeah, he's one of those, I think, untradables.
So on like a flex trade, how good of a midfielder would it take for you to trade Trent for a midfielder? Because it don't really happen that often in our league, like a straight swap, like a defender for a mid. But what would you? I'll throw some people at you. Would you trade? Hang on, let me get a list up. Would you trade?
I'm just looking at it now.
Yeah. Would you trade? Would you trade Foden for Trent?
No, I wouldn't. I would only. He'd have to be a top player. It'd have to be like.
Would you trade Bruno for Trent?
I don't think I would trade him. Like, I'm not like if we were in different seats, Joe, and you were saying you would trade him for a better player. But I just don't. I'm not trading players. I like to stick with my team. Generally, because my lack of football knowledge gets exposed if I trade all my players, and then I'll just be plummet down the league. That's the only reason why I don't trade. Nice. Because I try and get a solid team and leave it.
Nate, if you had Trent, would you take Bruno for him?
Not right now. The uncertainty of Man United is pretty scary. Yeah.
Yeah,
It would have to be someone like Song Heung-min or something like that.
That was literally going to be the next person I was going to say. Would you do Son for Trent?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think that's easy.
He's definitely going to just get more points in the league, like midfielders and forwards just do, don't they?
Yeah, agreed. I think Trent. I don't think anyone. The only person I think they couldn't get near him is Cancelo, and I don't even think Cancelo will just through the minutes, because he will miss the odd game, won't he? And that is frustrating. And because he's like such an important member of the team, the games that he misses will probably be like the easiest fixtures, which is like worst case scenario. They're the ones you really want to play.
Yeah.
Okay. What about so the next the final man on the list is Max Boy Tielemans. Lovely footballer. I love watching Tielemans.
What a player, yeah.
Yeah, he's just so like composed, isn't he? Like, yeah, I think he's really, really good. Nick, I will start with you. Tielemans to me is in like tier 3 of the mids in my head. You've got obviously like the top players, then you've got like the decent group of mids that all go in like the second or third round, and then you have a load of players beneath that are like a bit hit and miss and get a few Kante points and are generally like centre mids. Is that how you see him?
Yeah. I mean, like he's like top of player. Five game weeks he'll go and get like 3-2 points. And then suddenly he'll whack out like an 11-point game like he did against Ujo.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's not, from what I've seen, he's not that like attacking of a player.
No.
He's not the type of player. He's not like a Bernardo Silva who's going to like beat a couple of players and then put someone in. He's more of like sort of pass it around a bit and like has an eye for a pass. So I probably wouldn't. I would only draft him at like the 4th or 5th round, probably.
Do you think Tielemans is on like the level of Decore?
It's kind of the same kind of player, isn't it? I think I'd probably rather have Decore.
Yeah.
Just because I've had him before, and he's a bit like a Yaya Toure, isn't he? Like, just breaks from the midfield, big old like unit. But like there's similar kind of picks. Like you wouldn't be picking them up straight away, but 3rd or 4th round you get them.
Nath, how do you sort of rank Tielemans?
Yeah, quite far up there, but he's just not one. It depends on what system that Brendan Rodgers plays. That's basically it. If say he's got Boubacar Soumaré and also Ndidi playing the hold, then Tielemans pushing into that number 10. Was it like the? Yeah,
it's like a 8.5, isn't it? Like he like he's like a 3.8.
Yeah, if he's there, then it's good. But I don't know. Last year he got 122 points, so average. You can just see like it's a pretty average. Yeah, I think Decore this season's like Ben's probably going to survive through having Decore. Just the way that just the way that he's put into this system that Everton are playing. He's the guy in midfield which is breaking forward into the box. And for a midfielder like that, like Gundogan last season when he was doing that, Yaya Toure seasons before, like
Ramsey, that kind of arriving midfielder can be very valuable.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you compare? Who would you rather have from Tielemans or Souček?
Souček.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Souček's been a little bit disappointing this season.
Yeah,
he's been a little bit disappointing this season, but like he's a top quality player. Once he finds his feet again, then he'll start scoring quite a lot.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, that wraps up then. Let's have a look at game week 9 coming up. We've got some tasty fixtures this week. Start of a fresh new manager month, which I always like, a nice clean slate. First one we'll look at, first one we'll look at,
please.
Which is easily the humdinger of the round of fixtures, is Nath versus Jord. Top two, battle it out. Nath, do you think you're going to beat him?
I'm just looking at his team now, and I'm going to say no. I don't think I'm going to beat him.
He's got good fixtures, hasn't he? You just see, when you just see Nor H next to him, Chilwell.
Yeah, he's got Chilwell.
Yeah,
scored in his last 3 games as well, so maybe we'll make it 4.
Yeah,
and then I doubt they'll score against Chelsea, so be clean, 2 cleans there.
That could be he could have a good week. I also quite like Sarr away to Everton. I don't think Everton are that great at the back, and I know Watford are pants, but I actually think that's quite a good fixture.
So.
I think that's quite a good fixture for Sarr.
So. No, Claudio Ranieri, I just don't think he's going to make this Watford side click at all.
No, me neither. I think they're going to lose, but I think they're going to score. And I don't know who else really scores in that team other than Sarr.
Yeah. I think my dangerous pick is Danny Ings that he's got playing against Arsenal away.
Yeah, Ings loves a goal against Arsenal, actually.
Yeah. And the way that Arsenal are, I don't know, well set up at home the last game, it's not good. It's not good signs.
Yeah, I think I can see Jordan having a good week. You've got some decent fixtures. Your big problem is, well, it's not really a problem, but Salah is the Liverpool United fixture, isn't it? So you've got Salah in that. But I think Liverpool might absolutely do them. I've got a feeling.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. I've got Edison at home. Edison away at Brighton could be a good one. The Christensen, if he starts, hopefully he does. He started the last few games against Norwich at home, so that's a clean sheet. Kante, clean sheet, plus probably going to score against Norwich somehow.
I don't
know. My problem at the moment is they were the big dogs in my team. Ben Rama, Antonio, they're blanking at the moment. Really blanking.
Do you want Antonio for Wang?
No, not a fucking chance. Not a fucking chance. I'm just not too sure with this one. I think
Antonio will pick back up. Ben Rama, I think, is more of a worrying pick just because his returns were a little bit more fluky. Like Antonio was having so many shots and having like loads of big chances that like the goals were kind of inevitable, whereas Ben Rahman was a bit more unsustainable, I think. So but I mean, still great picks, obviously. But they have been gone off the boil a little bit, haven't they? But I think that'd be a good game. That'd be an interesting one to see who comes out on top with them.
Yeah. My question to you guys: I want to do a trade that is Henderson for Maddison. Because at the moment I've got Henderson, Salah, and Fabinho. Fabinho is the main point winner in that midfield three. Yeah, because of the tackles and interceptions that he does. Henderson normally gets about 3 or 4 points, just steady Eddie. But I'm thinking maybe I need someone like Maddison who could score a free kick, could hit a long shot and stuff like that. And at the moment with Ndidi out, then Maddison should be starting.
Do you know what, Nath? If I was you, I probably would pick up Maddison, mainly because you've got the squad to bench him. And because there could come a point in a month's time where Maddison is starting, is in form, and you've got a good pick. Do you know what I mean? But you could quite easily pick him up and sit him on your bench for like a month because you've got the rest of the squad to you can like afford to take the gamble on him. And then if he's still crap, then you can just drop him. Yeah. Whereas I don't think Henderson offers you anything more than what you've already got.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's just a defensive mid, isn't he? Yeah. Which I've got Kante, got now Douglas Luiz.
And
got Fabinho, got Dallas.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
Right, let's lock that in then.
I was about to steal that. I was thinking, who could I trade for Madison? Then I was like, I don't really have anybody I can sit on my bench. I want to drop.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, the next game we'll look at is John versus Connor. Pretty good game, I think this will be. Yeah, Battle of the United boys. Connor's team. So me and Connor did a trade this week, which I'd like to get your two's opinions on, which was Mahrez for Mbumo of Brentford. I was really confident in this.
I like that trade. That was quite. Everybody was kicking off saying you got trade rape, but I would disagree.
Yeah, but then some people were like, "No, it's the complete opposite."
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll be interested to see. I let you in. Actually, well, it's not a secret because I'm saying it on a podcast. But I've been keeping a note of all the trades that have happened this season. So what I'm going to do at the end of the season is just look back from when they were traded and see who scored more points. So then we can see who won all the trades. I did see that I tweeted at Draft Answers on Twitter to poll the Mahrez and Mbumo trade, and just can't remember. Oh my god, they tweet so much. I had it right here. Stand by. Oh, here it is. Oh, Mahrez won. Okay. So when I did it, it was like 50-50 like the whole time, but it's finished on 170 votes with Mahrez 57% and Mbumo 35%. So the community think Mahrez is the better pick, but I've owned him for 2 years in a row now, and it's fucking grim. It is grim.
Yeah.
It's just he's not fun to pick to out.
Start all the time.
No, and when he does start, he just looks moody. So like, yeah. And I don't think he's been playing well the last when he's got minutes the last month or two, especially against Burnley. I thought it was awful.
Played the whole game, didn't get any returns. I mean, City normally smash Burnley. Yeah, and beaten 2-0. So
they didn't really look on it. I don't think.
No. But I think certain teams perform at such a high level, it's hard for them to keep up every game.
Yeah, for sure. So who would you rather have out of the two of them, Nick?
I would have Bueno. How's it pronounced? Mbumo. I'd rather have him because I think Brentford look the real deal. Yeah. They look really good. They look good,
and he's playing up front. So that's
he plays up front, and someone's going to take the piss out of this, but he's hit the woodwork like a number of times already. 6 times, which can only be a good sign, right?
Yeah, it's a good sign. People go, you want hit the post. Yeah, but that's a good. That is a good. So this is crazy, right? In the whole Premier League, no one has hit the post or the woodwork more than once, apart from Mbemo, who's hit it 6 times. How fucking ridiculous!
He must be fuming. Yeah,
it's crazy. But he could quite easily have 25 more points than what he currently has, and then I don't think this would be a discussion. So, I'm quite excited about it. I was sick of Mahrez, and I was desperate to get rid of him. So
City boys are not the ones to have.
Nah, especially Mahrez. Mahrez, he's just a miserable player to own. Anyway, so Connor's playing John. His team looks very different. I mean, he's made a lot of trades this season.
I was just looking at Connor's team. I was thinking, he's picked up Grealish as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, I forgot about he traded that with Mike.
Yeah. So it is a very different team to what he started with, but he still has a lot of United players.
Yes, a lot.
And they've got Liverpool this week, which is pretty much the worst fixture you can have.
And he's got Robertson who are playing,
exactly. In that picture as well.
Yeah.
What makes me sick about this fixture is that both players have got 2 Southampton players on each team. Unbelievable.
They both picked him up this week as well. Connor obviously watched the waiver video that I did because he has picked up. I tipped. I think we tipped 7 players Connor has picked up 4 of them. So make of that what you will. Oh no, 3. Sorry, McCarthy, Bednarek, and Elise. So obviously, if he says, "Oh no, I didn't watch the video," he's lying. Anyway, I think John's going to win. I think John's team is actually pretty good. I can't even say this, but I've gone a complete 180 on John's team. I've embraced it.
He's picked up Benteke. I was looking at him. Yeah, John's got.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring team, a low-scoring result. To be honest,
stinker.
Yeah, absolute stinker. Just both. Like it's the Man City versus Brighton, and also the what else is it? Yeah, Man United Liverpool. Game
yeah.
Just gonna really.
Are they both on Sunday? I think they might be both be on Sunday. So that'll be.
I know the United game is.
John needs Calvert-Lewin back desperately. His team would look much better with Calvert-Lewin in it. Yeah, but yeah, I think that'd be. I don't know actually. I think John will win mainly just because of that United Liverpool fixture. I could see half of Connor's team blanking from that, which would kind of fuck him. Okay, the next fixture we'll look at. Nick, you are playing Mr. Michael Antrobus this week. You've got to win, surely.
Well, here we go. I got Lukaku, right? He's blank, lost like 6 games?
6.
But it's against Norwich, 6. He's banked the last 6, right? So surely he has to score.
He's
playing Norwich. Yeah, so poor Norwich are going to get absolutely just dominated by Lukaku, I hope so. And I've also got Bernardo Silva versus Brighton, so he should start. Laporte against Brighton, clean sheet.
If Alonso starts as well, you could.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I keep looking at my team and I'm like, all right, so I have a lot of players who start. He started not play for the last 2.
Can you just say that again, Nick? I lagged out a bit.
Sorry. Yeah, so Alonso started 6 in a row. And he's not played for the last 2 because Chilwell scored, so he might need to be traded out.
I'm really hoping Alonso comes back into the team because I've got him in my FPL team. And I don't want to transfer him out before Norwich at home in case he starts. So I'm really hoping.
He's a fantastic player. So yeah, I mean, fingers crossed I win, but I'm not until this new manager of the month curse goes on to Nathan. I'm not saying anything.
I'm just looking at Mike's team though. It's
fucking trash.
It's a bit weird, isn't it? Like he's got a bit of a weird team. Although he's made. I think Broja's a decent pickup actually, and I quite like the Pinnock pick.
Yeah.
The problem is, I mean, it's the same every week. If Mike's first 11 started, I think he'd have a good chance. But there's a quite reasonable expectation that Thiago Silva and Chalobah both don't start. Foden could easily not start. Jesus could easily not start. El Yunusi could easily not start. Jota could easily not start.
Jorginho won't start.
Jorginho could not start. He could have fucking 5 players this week. And that could happen any week.
Start as well.
Yeah. There's the only people that are nailed on are Pickford, Pinnock, Moped, Matip, and Semedo.
Yeah.
And that's that's Matt. 6 players. Yeah. But if the lineup come out and Rodri's not in it, you wouldn't go. You just go, oh yeah, well, there you go. You wouldn't be that surprised, would you? You just go, oh,
no,
people playing today. So you've got to win that surely. Next fixture, I'm playing Ben this week, which I hope I win. Ben's got a bit of a funny team, hasn't he? Like his midfield is good, but is Decore going to be out this week?
Yeah, Decore's out.
Yeah, he's out.
Is he definitely out? Okay, that's good news. And Torres is obviously out. And I think Ben's still got Che Adams, and he's also out. So Ben's looking a bit light.
Ward-Prowse is also still out, isn't he?
Oh, of course he is. Yeah. Why is he not red flagged on the app? That's stupid. He should be. Yeah. Do you know the man that scares me though is Rhys James? I can see him getting an absolute haul against Norwich. I can just picture like James gets 2 assists.
I thought he's got a bit of a knock.
Gets like 20 points. No, he's back. He's back.
Okay.
Yeah, he's back. He was in contention last weekend, but he didn't play. But he'll be back for this one. Well, I mean, he still might not start. Aspie could start at right wing back, but I suspect James will be back in this week. I do think. I think Ben's team. He's just hit by a lot of injuries and suspensions at the moment, isn't he? So I should win. I've got a decent set of fixtures. De Bruyne are away to Brighton. Looks like a good one. And I really like Jimenez and Hwang both away to Leeds. Leeds are not great at the back, and I could see some points there. So
as well with Leicester.
Yeah, that's true. They look dodgy.
They're really playing good at home at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm not too overconfident. I think I'll win, but I could see it being quite close. Elsewhere, we've also got Dave versus Boar. That's got stinker written all over it. It. Dave versus Boar. Boar will pick up about 12 points because Ronaldo's playing against Liverpool. Do you think he'll score?
No, not at all. I don't think Ronaldo will score. Werner against Norwich could happen.
Yeah.
But then is Havertz going to play instead of him?
He's got both, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I do think Boar's team is not great, but I do actually quite like having Werner and Havertz. I think if I had one of them, I'd want both. If you know what I mean, because you know that
so you could be frustrated by both of them.
Well, no, so you know you're going to get the starter because it's probably one or the other. So at least you know, like, you don't have to worry really because it's unlikely both of them miss out. The only problem is you often get the other one for 1 point because they often substitute them on. So you kind of have to start them both, and you know that you're going to get 1 point from one of them. So it's not ideal, but they could both start, but it's unlikely. Dave's team, on the other hand, isn't. It's not as bad as I made out maybe last week, but I do think it's a bit dodgy. But I mean, Kane loves a London derby, doesn't he? And they've got West Ham away, so I could definitely see Kane doing quite well next week. But yeah, I think that'd be a stinker, absolute stinker.
I think his one's down to how good Gray does against Watford. Because if Watford are leaky and Gray can just run through and get onto the ball and score, then I think that
could get a massive
threat that he's got.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean he's got Coleman as well in that fixture, but I'm not sure if Coleman will start. I think Godfrey. I think they'd rather have Godfrey at right back and Mina at centre back, wouldn't they? But Mina was ineligible last week, so they couldn't play him. So I'm not sure if Coleman will start. But yeah, that's that'll be a tight game. I think Dave will be raging, going, "No, I'm going to smash it," but I think that'd be pretty tight. And then lastly, we got Brad versus Mac. God, that's another stinker, isn't it?
That is a stinker, yeah.
Mac's team.
Mac will win by about 5 points, and Brad will be complaining that Mac's had a game of his life. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but it'll be like 28-23. Brad will be going, I can't believe I've lost. Brad got like 20 points.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, my God.
Poor old Brad. I actually have a suspicion Brad might have a good week this week.
Brad always has versus players, though.
Yeah, always.
Every single week he has players against each other.
Why does he do that?
Not a clue.
He doesn't even try to avoid it. I try and avoid it. Like if I've got a defender,
so do I.
Like a half shit team, and they're playing against one of my attackers, and I'll just drop them. If it's someone that's like droppable,
because then it's just you're praying for a 0-0 or like either a 0-0 or your striker to score, but then you lose points from your defender, and it's just a headache. Like
no matter what happens, someone loses points, so it just feels shit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I just can't see Mac winning next week. Sorry, Mac.
You said that last week.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's true. I can't see it.
His bullshit can't happen two weeks in a row, right?
Is Connor Cody going to score his second ever Premier League goal for the 2 weeks in a row? I think it's unlikely.
Yeah. McGinn and
also, actually, I've just remembered something that really pissed me off. Traore got an assist for the Neves free kick, right?
Mm-hmm. It
was off target. It was, and then it was like a deflected free kick. It was going about 10 yards wide. How has that not gone down as an own goal? There's no way Traore should have kept that assist. I mean, not that it mattered. He beat me by like 20 points, but I just was like, I just see on Twitter someone say, "Oh, that might get changed to an own goal," and then when I actually saw it, I'm like, it's not even close to being on target. That was bullshit. So, Matt, you're a lucky boy. Okay, well that's all the fixtures wrapped up. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here? No, good. I think that silence is let's end the show.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you're listening on podcast version and you've made it all the way to the end and you don't watch the YouTube, I would advise watching the YouTube because you get the screenshots of the teams and the tables and stuff. So I would advise watching YouTube. But if you like it on Spotify, then do you. So I will see you next week. See you later. Oh my god, I've got to record.
No, you didn't. It says recording to the left. I checked.
Gotcha.